Right. So it should be going live now. So yeah, I'm just gonna give this a minute, and what I'm gonna do is turn down the tablet's brightness. There we go. So we'll just give this a minute. If you're watching this after it goes out, put the microphone about there. If you're watching this after it goes out, you'll have to skip forward a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying something different this time. In terms of live stream, I'm doing it from my tablet, but I've actually connected a proper microphone into it. So hopefully it should sound a bit better. Although then again, it is being streamed, so who knows what it's going to sound like by the end of it. So yeah, I'm starting a little bit 5 minutes earlier than what I said, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll just kind of wait it out. But yeah, here we are. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. Oh, and we've got the first person there. So hello, first person. I don't know if the chat thing pops up, but yeah, we'll have all the messages be visible. We'll have all of them. But yeah, about this live stream for people that just you can ask anything you like, absolutely anything, and I mean anything. But yeah, so hello, another person popped in there. Started this 5 minutes early, so when we get to, what time is it now? So wait a couple of minutes until we get to 8 o'clock, because that's when I said I'd start it. And then we'll just I'll just go into the things, because there's several things that to talk about. And again, you're just gonna ask anything. Someone did ask me why you only do. Someone asked me, actually, ironic. I don't know if they were being ironic or serious, but they said, "Oh, why are you only doing an hour?" And the reason is I've had a bit of a cold recently. No, I don't have COVID. I've had a couple of COVID tests, and I checked and came up negative, and didn't feel like I had a cold. I just had a bit of a sore throat and had a bit of a cough, and that was essentially it. So yeah, if my throat gets a bit bad, if I start to lose my voice a bit during this, that's why I'll be ending it any earlier. But anyway, it's so it's not actually, obviously today is not actually my 11th anniversary on YouTube. That'll be on Wednesday, but I'm doing this live stream today because I'll be busy in that with work and that on Wednesday. I've had work today and actually I'm early for that, but yeah, I'm just doing it today. Just got it's easier in that to do it today, and there'll be more people on that who are able to join it and have a chat about things. So yeah, it's weird because there were several plans for things to do for the 11th anniversary, which never actually happened. For one, I wanted to do another 6 Second Adventures. I really did. In fact, not just that, I wanted to do a Halloween and Christmas special last year. I wanted to do them last year, but my brother refused to do any of them, and he refuses to do them anymore. Hello, Mr. Velasca. So yeah, basically for the foreseeable future, there'll be no more 6 Second Adventures. I'm surprised he did that one. The only reason my brother did that one last year is basically because he wanted to show it to my film studies teacher, who was a fan of 6 Second Adventures, and wanting to basically show that, oh yeah, I can do short films, and that he's a film studies student, or at least he was. I think he still is. So yeah, that's why there's no 6 Second Adventures special, and that would normally happen here. And I even had plans to do, even if I couldn't do a full one, I thought, oh, maybe I'll do an extended cut, a kind of Zack Snyder cut of Deeper Underground, because there was a fair bit of stuff in that I just didn't do. I didn't film because my brother only agreed to do it for one day. You have to try and cram everything in there, and that's another thing I tried. I also thought of doing, and I still might do this one day, doing an interactive special where you can basically choose your own adventure. The choices you make affects the outcome, kind of thing. Which I still might do someday. So who knows? Maybe that's something in the future. I haven't done an audio one as well in a while, so maybe I might do any of them in the future. But yeah, as we is, here we are. There won't be a video on Saturday, as I said, because you should be getting 2 videos next week. Because on Saturday next week, so a week tomorrow, is Record Store Day. I think. It's either next week or the week after. It might be the week after. So I might have lied. So yeah, on the 16th of April this month is Record Store Day, where I'll be getting what was it? It's a Doctor Who record. It's a audiobook, but I can't remember what one it is. It is a Tennant era one, but I will be picking that up. But next week on Sunday, obviously, but on that week as well, there'll be the day after. There'll be the special. I love seeing that. It's only the length of an average episode. So my predictions, though, it'll probably just be another because that is the best Chris Chibnall scripts ever gets. Zoe going down, basically the best. That is literally his best. It's just like that is his best work in terms of him personally. So yeah, we'll see, but I'm not holding out hopes. Something that annoys me is I've seen some pictures of the Sea Devil head, and without the CGI that they used to CGI enhance it, because what they did is they have a fairly decent Sea Devil head, and it's a bit larger than the originals to accommodate the animatronic parts in it, but at least from the clips I've seen of it, it looks like they've CGI'd over it in terms of the eyes, which is annoying, although it could just be the few shots it's in, but they are using animatronic head. The only thing, I think it would look better if the eyes didn't look like these like pitbull or puppy dog eyes kind of things. It just makes it look really cartoony and goofy. I think if the eyes were maybe yellow, a bit yellowed or something like that, it would make it look less cartoonish, or it just looks a bit meh. Because other than that, the rest of the head is really good. So, that's the thing. Chris Chibnall's era has infamy for making, practical. Like, for example, there's the infamous one in, I think, It Takes You Away, where basically they made a full monster, and they decided not to use it and instead use a CGI fucking frog. Like, how the fuck do you get there? Like, because oh yeah, we have a full practical monster. Let's not use it. So it's just shit like that. You just think, why? Anyway, let's have a look at the comments. Mr. Alaska says, "Do you show your film studies teacher the superior version?" If you're talking about your cut, well, I don't have a film studies teacher anymore. So because I left school back in in August 2017. So Yeah, he hasn't seen. I think he's seen. I think he's seen my version. I don't know if he's seen your version, but we'll see. Hello, Snowflake. The Snowflake says, "What do you think they will do for the TV movie when they release it on the collection box sets on Blu-ray?" Well, I've talked about this before. One, I don't know if they'll actually do that. One is I don't know if they'll actually do that, and the reason is because there's not enough content there. There's just not enough content to fill up a box set, especially on Blu-ray. And the TV movie has already had a Blu-ray release, which unfortunately was an upscale because the BBC didn't have the film negatives for it. So yeah, that is disappointing. And since that film was made by Fox, who are now owned by Disney, and Disney are infamous for not giving a shit about doing new restorations of particularly any Fox films or even their own films. It seems very unlikely that, at least in the current state, that will ever get even a true HD release of that. And in terms of the box set, again, there's not really enough to put in the box set. Everything you can really put about the TV movie is on the TV movie's Blu-ray release. So if you have that Blu-ray release, you basically have everything for the TV movie, essentially, you know. Now, in terms of other things surrounding X in the Wilderness Years, again, there's a lot of grey areas in terms of legality. For example, Dimensions in Time. That will probably not happen until, unfortunately, basically everyone who is involved has passed on. And even then that might not be the case, because if they have an estate who still owns the rights to that, it still might be a case of it'll never happen. So yeah, which, you know, it is a shame more for, you know, just having it as a full release, because Dimensions in Time is a fascinating thing. It is a fascinating thing of just like how it came to be. Snowflake says they should call it TV movie and the Wilderness Years release. Scream of the Shalka more than 30 years in the TARDIS and the 40s. Again, though, that is not enough for a Blu-ray release. That is not enough for a Blu-ray box set. Like, that would be, you know, 3 discs, maybe. At most, it would be 3 discs. Because again, that is all standard def content. Because basically the Blu-ray discs that they use in the box set are called BD50s, or dual layer Blu-ray discs. And they are 50 gigabyte Blu-ray discs. So when you're putting standard def content on, even if it's upscaled, it's still not taking up a lot of space on the disc. That's why you can have 2 versions of, for example, Planet of the Daleks, which is a 6-part story. So essentially, you're getting 12 episodes on 1 disc, plus all of its special features. Now it can all fit on the 1 disc. So yeah, it's just like they probably want to do, and plus it's not a huge amount of content anyway. So I'm not saying never, but they'd have to get a lot more in there. They'd have to really put a lot more in there. But you know, never say never. But to be honest, I don't think that's not going to be on their priorities. If a Wilderness Years box set comes out, it'll be basically when they're starting to get near the end of the line, or the line has ended and they're trying to put more out. That'll be generally when something like that happens. It'll also probably be when they start putting 60s stuff out. I don't see them putting any 60s stuff out until they've done all of, you know, seasons 7 through 26. You know, until they've done all of those, I don't even see them touching 60s stuff, because it's much easier to release box sets where at least all the episodes are there, you know, in their entirety, than it is, you know, to either just like, okay, animation here, maybe a recon here and that, and trying to confaffle it. For one, we don't even know. Excuse me, what's going to happen. I imagine they're probably not going to see anything until after Abominable Snowman comes out, which I think has been delayed from what I'm hearing, because the BBC are supposedly having some issues pressing discs at the minute. And also there was a rumour that at one point that Abominable Snowman's Steelbook was going to have a 4K disc. Which, again, then and now, I'm going to say, I don't see that. I won't see that happening. One, it's the animation, and two, it really won't make a difference. Not with that animation. It's too. It is just too basic and simplistic to basically justify seeing the difference, and plus it would have to have a whole different colour grading for HDR10 and probably HLG as well. So yeah, don't see stuff like that happening. But I told you I've got a bit of a cough. I don't have COVID, for those who are joining. It is just a little bit of a cough. I've had a test and I'm getting better. I'm nearly over it. But the more I talk, the more I cough. So yeah. But yeah, that's why some of the box sets now are being delayed, because the BBC and everywhere else is just having issues in stock shortages and everything at the minute. For example, it's getting more difficult to buy milk, toilet rolls, you name it. A big one is, for example, vinyl records. I had an email today from, not today, well, last week, from Red Hot Chili Peppers official store saying, oh yeah, your order is going to be delayed until the foreseeable future. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. Unfortunately, we just got delays, and prices on everything are going up. I wouldn't be surprised. For example, we know the B&M sets. For those who don't know, the B&M sets this year are going up to $21.99. So yeah, it was inevitable to happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen last year. I was very surprised that it didn't happen last year, or not so much 2020, but 2021. I was surprised the prices didn't rise. But this year they're going up to $21.99, which again isn't a bad price, but it does add up a lot. It does add up. And I remember when they first started doing the B&M line of figure sets, they started out at $12.99. That's what they started out at. And now look at them. That they're nearly a tenner more than they were. Again, it's inflation, but the costs of everything. So yeah, they're going up. I won't be surprised if they go up next year as well. So yeah, not a ridiculous amount. Only by £2, but still, again, it adds up, especially if you're like me, someone who buys all of them, and if you like to army build Daleks like I do. So it does add up pretty quick. So yeah. Jamie King, I know you hate the current Doctor Who era, but is there something you liked about it? It's a small thing, but it's only because the Moffat era got this really wrong, and that is the Dalek gun noise using the proper Dalek gun sound effect. Because for some reason during the Moffat era they decided to switch it just to a generic blaster sound, where it would just go pew 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 pew. Whereas in the Chibnall era they switched it back. In fact, they went back to the Imperial Dalek gun sounds and then mixed it up a bit for a bit. So that's at least one thing I like. In terms of anything else, like I mentioned, I like the Sea Devil head itself for the most part. But I don't like this. There's nothing really about this here I like, and when those are the things I choose out of it that I liked, it's just like it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign for me. I really don't like it. at all. In fact, not even that. I hate it. I really don't like it. I find it more. The thing is, I find it more boring than anything else. Like that's the thing. When it's boring, it's just like, why watch it? Like I can watch something that is shit. That is really shit, and usually get some ironic entertainment value. But if you're shit and you're boring, just you haven't got a leg to stand on. Because that is my opinion. If you like it, then good for you, but I don't, and never will. Yeah, so there we go. The Snowflake. It says, thoughts on season 22 arc so far. It's fine. I'm not really too fussed, to be honest. It's fine. I mean, for me, the box sets, is mainly about the content itself. Because basically, when I get the box sets, I initially watch the discs through first, and then I rip all of the discs to MP4, and then I never touch the discs again. And I haven't. I've never touched the discs again. They're currently sitting on a shelf, and that's where they'll stay. And that's where basically most of my Blu-rays and everything stay. So yeah, it just is what it is. So yeah. Oh, we got more underneath. Mr. Valeska says, I could do the next 6 second ventures. I don't know how you could do it, because one, you're wherever you live, and where I live in Newcastle. For those who don't know, so unless you live somewhere near to me, it's not gonna it's not gonna happen. And the 11th anniversary. Hot Dalek says, interesting name. Would you rather fuck a Cyberman or a Dalek? Now that's the type of question that gets these live streams going. Ooh. The thing is, how would you fuck a Cyberman? Because they got. Basically, it also depends on what Cyberman as well, because if you're fucking a Cyberswan, I mean, it's basically a metal suit, an empty metal suit that you're fucking. And if it's basically any other, part of you is probably fucking a corpse. So, yeah, oh. I don't know. And then a Dalek, like Dalek, you can just insert tentacle porn into anything, into that. I don't know. I think I'll say Dalek just because then it's like, you can always claim nothing else is like it. So yeah, because a Cyberman, it'd be like, depending on what one, it'll be either like fucking a corpse or fucking a shop window dummy. So for bragging rights, I'd say Dalek. Hot Dalek also says, would you smash a Dalek? I think that's the same question. Jamie King says, are you looking forward to RTD coming back? Yes, but I'm also apprehensive about it. Because again, I've watched one show that he's done since he left Doctor Who, and that was Years and Years. And I really loved it. I did really love it. Murray Gold also did the music for that one as well, and that is great. I really love that. I think it'll definitely be better written. But I don't see Russell T Davies as the second coming again, boy. But I think Doctor Who will definitely improve, but will it get back to where it was before? We'll see. We'll see. But at least Russell T Davies has proven in the past that he can do it, so it gives you more hope for that. So yeah. Andy G asks, what is your new job? Well, it's not that new anymore, 'cause I've had it for 9 months next week. But yeah, I am basically in charge of the production department and also the YouTube channel, as well as I put other things for the company that I work for. And I don't know how much more I'm allowed to say, because there's a load of non-disclosure things in the contract. So that's all I'm going to say on that regard. So that's my job. Mr. Valeska says, the next 6 Second Adventures will be animated. You and you would voice yourself, and I would provide the other. I mean, if you can do an animation, like a proper animation, yeah, why not? We could call it, I don't know, the Unbound Adventures. Yeah, just give big. Or well, I have to think of something else a bit clever, so we're not completely ripping off Big Finish. But yeah, maybe. Mike Hunk says, are you a fan of Chris Chibnall? If it's not obvious by now, no, I fucking hate him. Yeah. In fact, on the day after the Oscars, I literally posted saying someone should tell Chris Chibnall to make fun of you-know-who's wife. And I'm not going to say his name here because, I'm sick of him getting all the attention. But, yeah, if it was Dark Long 7, then there's no question. Mr. Velasquez says, he's a fan of Chris Chibnall because he said he'd do it over... Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, no. You bastard. God, watching this live stream makes me think, fuck, Six let himself go. Who's that? Sills let himself go. Oh, Andy Gia says, have you finished your room? Well, currently, the room I'm in is my room at my granny's apartment, which is basically finished. However, my room at home is and isn't. So basically, one thing I had to do is make a compromise, because initially I was going to get a new bed and unit and everything. I compromised because I didn't have the time, so I decided I'll keep the same bed, for the time being, for the foreseeable future, because I didn't have time to clear all that. In terms of the unit, if you saw in the video, that's all finished. All my records that are in there. There's some more stuff that's been put in there, which will be in another video, because I plan to keep doing these videos where I keep updating it, so I'm not going to see anything more in terms of that. But let's just say it's not finished, but it is coming along really nicely, and the essential stuff that really needed to be in there is all in there. You saw it in that video, so yeah. Something says, will you use stop motion animation to create the last 6 second episodes? Well, I won't be. I have done stop motion before, and believe me, it's a pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong, stop motion animation is my favourite type of animation. Really is. I'm a big fan of Aardman, Leica, and but stop motion is incredibly time consuming, and yeah, especially that's why I've never done lip sync in terms of stop motion in my life, because oh boy, that's a road you don't want to go down. What room? He's no fucking room. LOL. Okay. Well, I do have a room. In fact, I'm very happy with my room at home. At the minute, I'm really happy. I can listen to any of my albums that I want. So, yeah, very happy with that. Something says I had to do a rig for stop motion. Took a long time, but it was fun. Because that's the thing. I don't like stop motion. Like for me, I don't find it fun doing. Well, I've done stop motion in the past. I haven't found it fun. I do find it satisfying. I do find it satisfying to watch it and look at it. Like there's some of the few videos I generally go back to and watch. For example, the few Dalek, the 3 Dalek animations I did, which were set between Evil and Day of the Daleks. I generally go back once, excuse me, in a while and go and look at them because I do enjoy them. Let's have a look. Hot Dark said, "Would you fuck a dog or a cat?" Oh, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I've got a dog myself. His name is Bobby, and it's no, I can't. No, I can't abuse that. I won't abuse animals. I will not. Yeah. And I know there's some vegan going, "Oh well, are you vegan then?" No, because those animals are slaughtered. There's a difference. Massive, massive difference. Believe me. But yeah. The Doctor alone says, if all your stuff burned to the ground and after you'd had a cry in a tug, what would be the first thing you do to restart your collection? Well, like I say, if all my stuff burned down, for one, I've got a backup hard drive of all my stuff, so I would have to get a new laptop and restore all of my stuff. The first thing I would buy if all my stuff did burn is probably rebuy all the DVDs and the Blu-rays. That'd probably be the first thing I get. And after that, like, be honest, I don't plan. Like, when I get stuff, I don't generally plan it. I just see what I want and try and find the best price. So, there we go. And I do wait a while for stuff to see if I can get the right pricing. If I can't, I don't get it. So, yeah, that's generally how that works. Best. I wouldn't say Day of the Daleks is not the best Dalek story. It's not. It's not a bad story. It's just not a very good Dalek story because the Daleks were literally added in last minute. Because if you don't know the story, they wanted to bring back the Daleks, and initially it was going to be in the finale, a 6-part Dalek story to end the season on. However, it was then decided last minute, just like, no, to boost the ratings for the start of the season, put the Daleks in the first story of the season. So that's kind of why, they're just, for the most part, they're just isolated in one room throughout, 90% of the story. So, yeah, not a bad story, just not a great Dalek story. Slovik says, if you slaughter Bobby and eat... So, if you would slaughter Bobby and eat... No. I don't eat dogs. I won't eat dogs. Because what has a cow ever done for me? Dogs are loyal and loving. A dog will skate by you. That's why I don't have a cat. Like a dog, it'll skate by you. A dog doesn't fuck off when it decides that it fancies, a meal at someone else's house. And that dog skates by you, so yeah, but that could go on forever for that. Suffolk says, Why is the Season 10 Blu-ray cost so much on eBay compared to the other Blu-rays? I'm assuming you're meaning the limited edition version, and that's only because it was fairly recently it got a re-release. So you can expect those prices could go down, but it wasn't too long ago that, it was only available in its limited edition form. So that is why. But yeah, it could also be a case of just like people are trying to just get them up, but eBay prices always go through the roof if there's money to be made. Dalek Fang Perry says no. It's a guy, yeah, I know. It's just it seems like Fang Rock is kind of meh by a lot of... I love Horror Fang Rock, I really do. And I think Horror Fang Rock is like the last breath of the Philip Hinchcliffe era, because when Terence Hicks was writing it, at the time, and that basically he in his mindset he thought he was doing it for Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes, and Robert Holmes was still skated on as the script director for a little bit longer, but so it's probably why Max and also Robert Holmes being the script director always generally make things more gothic horror and that, so that's probably why it ended up like that. But I really love Horror Fang Rock, I really do. The Doctor 11, what is more annoying? Someone calling him Doctor Who, or people adding dimensions in time in the... people adding S to dimensions in TARDIS? I think people call him Doctor Who. Because, dimensions. I mean, you can get away with that if you say it quickly enough. Like, but in terms of Doctor Who, just like no. I mean, I'm not too fussed. I'm not. It doesn't bother me that much now. Gordon Bennett says, "Was this I hear about slaughtering dog? Hugs guy 6sec. By the way, 6sec calls me one because I'm." No, I don't call you that, Gordon Bennett. Yeah, I'm not slaughtering any dogs or anyone. I probably do live in an abattoir, but I couldn't tell you where the nearest abattoir was to me. But I imagine there probably is one somewhere fairly near, because there's a load of butchers round here, so probably is one somewhere near. Dr. Len, wow, congrats on 11 years of utter disappointment. Well, if it was disappointing, you just clearly you've set the bar far too high for me. You've set the bar far too high. And technically it isn't actually 11 years until Wednesday next week, but I'm doing it today because Wednesday I'll be knackered. No, I do not want to eat you, Gordon Bennett. In fact, I had something to eat not too long ago. I had a pasta salad and a pasty, which was quite nice. Hello. So yeah, God, it's really warm in here. Ew, in here. So, yeah, what time is it? I've been going for 35 minutes. Okay. Wait, I was going to say something online, it's completely gone fucking blank. Congratulations on 11 years of... Yeah, one... Okay. Gordon Bennett, I have not been abusing my dog for 11 years. Because I don't abuse him, quite the opposite. And two, he isn't 11 years old. He's only 7. So, You know, that would be impressive, but no. Can you do a good impression of a Slovene? There you go, that's my impression of a Slovene. Well, no, the Dr. 11. Everyone is going on about Ryan slaughtering dogs, but the only things he actually slaughters is his chunks of free character options figures from Sweaty Alderaan. Oh, that ship had long since sailed. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to myself, I did get the next best thing. I pissed him off. So, yeah, I'll never get any free stuff from Alderaan. But at the same time, I did piss him off. So, I did manage to apparently piss him off from what I've heard. So, yeah, but to be honest, like, even if he did send me free stuff, wouldn't make a difference. I'd say the exact same thing, which is also why he wouldn't send me anything, because for me, like, it doesn't matter whether I paid for it, whether it was given to me or free. I'll always say my opinion, because I don't give a shit. I'm going to say my opinion, you know, whether people like it or don't. It's just there, and that's what I say. So, yeah. Curtis Patterson says, "Is it bad if I ripped my 19-inch Dalek Supreme head off?" You ripped it off. I don't think you. It's like, how? I think what you meant to say is you broke it off. But yes, that is a bad thing. That is definitely a bad thing. I don't know if you're asking me if you can repair it, because I'm going to imagine probably no. There may be a slim chance, but probably no. But we'll have to see. I still get a fair few messages a month on people asking me on how to repair various radio-controlled Daleks. Like I'm the fucking expert. I'm not. I'm not. So yeah. You know, I try my best, but it's also hard to diagnose a problem when you can't see it, where someone's kind of vaguely describing something. You are not 7, you are 11. Okay, Gordon Bennett, I thoroughly believe that you are 11. Tom says, the BBC called the Doctor Who character Doctor Who for years. Yes, they did. Just because the BBC did something didn't mean they're right. Both classic news series. They're right. Yes, again. Just because BBC said something doesn't mean it's right. For example, you'll often get BBC presenters mispronounce the names of monsters, villains, and characters. Does that mean they're right? Curtis Person. Well, you see, I was turning him into a robot and I got bored and tore it off. Well, then you've just ruined its value. Tom says, Gung Bennett is an old word. You mean 71? I don't think I've got any 71-year-olds watching me. I did have a couple people who were between 55 and 65 watching me. I know that's because, unless they've lied about their age, which is probable, but we'll see. There are so many here to say, la la la. I don't care. The Dr. 11 says, all the messaging on the 18-inch Daleks is just Captain Jimmy Pie's spam account because he has no fucking clue. No, according to Captain Jimmy Pie, you can't repair them. I made up the videos, you can't repair them. Because if he can't repair them, then that's it, they cannot be repaired. You know, because that's how his mind thinks. If he can't do something, it can't be done. And we're just all going to have to accept that. Will you ever dye your beard pink? No. No, I will not. To be honest, I don't dye my hair. I don't, in general. The only times I ever have is when I did that Joker short film that I did. I dyed my hair green. Although it was one of them ones that just washes straight out. But yeah, no, I like just keeping my natural colour. Speaking of my natural colour, I remember once I encountered someone who for some reason said, "Oh, you know, you should keep your natural colour rather than dye it blonde." And I went, "I'm a natural blonde." They went, "No, that blonde isn't a natural colour. You don't get natural blonde." I was just like, "Yep, I'm talking to a fucking retard." Has the live stream finished? Nope. Oh, it's back. Yeah, I think you were the only one who got a bad connection there. It seems to be it's been going fine for me, because when it does lose connection, it does tell me. But yeah, it's been fine on my end. Chris Patterson, tell me a robot Dalek would not be amazing. What do you mean by robot Dalek? In terms of, what do you mean? Because you could argue it was a robot beforehand, because it was. So, yeah. When you say, it's like, I don't know what you would be adding to it. Unless you were putting a Raspberry Pi or something in there, then, again, why? Jealous of the Product Enterprise movie Daleks. Who is your favourite Doctor? Tom Baker is my favourite Doctor. The Doctor 11. Here we go, this will be interesting. Would you rather go vegan or lick Captain Jimmy Pie's fingers? Would I rather go vegan? I'd rather lick... Since it's just his fingers, I'll lick his fingers. Because I could not go vegan. I could not go vegan, because vegan food is shite. It is, it really is. I had a vegan Magnum once, and it was disgusting. It was absolutely vile. So, yeah. Like, you know, it just was. Blah, 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 blah. Where am I at? A real life Dalek, that would be scary. Okay. There's a free thinking Dalek. Was that Cyrus Alpha? Your comment keeps getting auto-retracted. I don't know why. But it does, I don't know why. Sometimes YouTube does this thing where... a lot of the time I get completely innocent comments, but for some reason they go into the, you know, held for review section, where it's get automatically deleted. I don't know why. YouTube system's fucking weird. The Doctor 11, shut up. Oh, vegan magnums are better than... No one else is going to choose... Other than vegans, no one else is going to choose a fucking vegan magnum over an original one. Vegan magnums are fucking disgusting. They are. They are absolutely disgusting. And to be honest, magnums aren't even my favourite ice cream. You know? I mean, I'd much rather have a Haagen-Dazs or a Ben and Jerry's or something like that. Although I don't get them very often because again, they're fucking expensive. But yeah, I live. What's that? I live in the northeast. Someday I will bump into you in the street, and we'll be like meeting a celebrity. Do you sign autographs? You probably won't bump into me in the street. Highly unlikely. If you ever did, I'll sign. If you've got a pen and that, I'll sign it. That's gonna be taken out of context. But yeah. The thing is though, in the past I've had 3. No, I haven't. Yeah, in the past I've had 3 encounters from complete strangers who claim to be fans, and each time I ignored them because I thought they were bullshitting, and maybe they were. But yeah, they asked me, oh, I just completely fucking ignored them. So because I thought they were just bullshitting. So who knows? But yeah. Alright, go on, Bennett, I'll answer your fucking would you rather. Would you rather let Captain Jimmy Pie give you a certain cream pie, or bum you, or be Chris Chibnall's wife for the rest of your life? Well, if I be Chris Chibnall's wife, I'd certainly get a beating. But oh, fucking hell. I'm going to say the first option. I'm not going to say what it is, because then that line is going to be out there. Here we go. Hey Six Sec, do you think the BBC will release a 4K releases of certain Doctor Who stories next year in the comic episodes? No, they won't, and they can't. And the reason is because, again, I had this conversation with the Snowflake, but people don't realise that the vast majority of Doctor Who stories were all completely filmed in standard def. Now, stories throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when there was some locations stuff, they would generally, most of the time, they'd film that on film. But by the time you got into the late 80s, where you got steady cams that were onto videotape, they generally just abandoned that full stop. And series 1 to 4 of Doctor Who was all filmed in standard def, but digitally. So it doesn't matter what you do to it, it'll just, you can upscale it, it doesn't mean it's going to look any better. Like, basically, the Blu-ray sets are the best that they're ever going to look. And also, when they did film on location, it was filmed on 16mm film. And 16mm film is equivalent to 1080p. That is basically as high as it's going to go. You could get a 2K scan sometimes out of it and upscale that, which would still look better. But, yeah, basically 1080p is just as good as it's going to get, so I doubt they will. And the BBC have kind of abandoned the 4K format in general, unless it's a nature documentary by David Attenborough. They've basically completely abandoned the 4K format, so, yeah. They might try it again in the future, but I don't see them doing it anytime soon. But again, even if they did, it'd all just be upscales and I don't see them doing that. So yeah, and the only Doctor Who story that would even get close is Spearhead from Space, and that was done doing 2K scans, which again would have to be upscaled. And the main advantage would be the HDR. So yeah, which is also another thing when you film on videotape. There's not enough color information there to do a proper true HDR treatment to it. So again, unlike that's why the dark films are going to look fantastic when they come out on 4K Blu-ray, because they were filmed on film. They've got true 4K scans, and they're going to look amazing with HDR. I'm hoping Dolby Vision. I'm hoping, but it might just be HDR10. Which even then, it still looks great. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's no point if they're standard definition. Yep. So that. Not 3 small new picture. What? I don't know what he's on about. Tom, challenge accepted. I'm stopping everyone on the street until I find you, and I will find. Why would you stop everyone on the street? You know what I look like. Why would you randomly stop everyone? I'd understand if I never showed my face, but look, this is my face. It generally looks like this. So yeah. Also, whenever I'm out, I've got right. And my shirt fell down. Whenever I'm out, I've got these in. These are my Sony XM4 earphones, which, yeah, I've always got these in whenever I'm out 100% of the time. So even if you are shouting at me across the street, unless I saw you, I wouldn't hear you. I would not hear you. So, yeah, and also, if someone did tap me on the shoulder, my instant reaction is to go like that. And that has happened before. I went to the York Dungeon back in February. I hadn't been there since 2019, and in the final bit, you're in the coach section where basically where the coach gets robbed, and then basically the gunman comes inside, and the coach is going back and forth and moving back and forth like virtually, and the guy literally appeared in front of me. The lights went out, like that, and I just literally, as we were moving, I was like, whoa, because I accidentally whacked him back out of the coach, and I only had a second to say sorry. So yeah, I accidentally hit one of the cast members in the York Dungeon. Though to be fair, the thing was rocking back and forth, and he literally jumped through. I was like, because I thought someone was actually falling in front of me. I thought because someone was sitting in the opposite seat to me, I thought someone had fell in front of me. So I was trying to stop them, and I accidentally pushed them back. So, yeah, that story went nowhere, didn't it? What is that? What's that noise? I can hear a noise. Is that my granny next door? I think that's my granny next door. Okay. Okay, false alarm. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Sometimes. Open space anyway. I'll be sending that clip to Captain Jimmy Pie. If you send anything related to me to Captain Jimmy Pie, he will block you. He will block you. Basically, anything associated with me now, he won't. I think. I don't know. I haven't I haven't seen anything from him in 2, 3. Yeah, it'll be 3 years now. The Snowflake says, "Can you upscale classic Doctor Who story to 4K?" No. Well, you can. I'm not saying you can't, but it'll be Okay, so what is the upscale? So basically, the upscale is the equivalent to me, basically. But okay, for example. So imagine Doctor Who stories being filmed in standard definition. Imagine I've just filmed a Doctor Who story in standard definition on this camera. I then put it in my editor, and rather than render it at its native resolution, I render it at 4K. That's basically that's basically an upscale. That is basically the way to think about it. It's basically, that is what it is. I mean, your TV, for example, any modern TV will upscale everything to the highest resolution it can. So, for example, if you're watching a DVD on a modern 1080p or 4K TV, it will be natively upscaling it. So yeah, excuse me, that's the way it works. It doesn't make it the same resolution. It will look slightly better. It will look slightly better, but it's not gonna look, if you put basically, and I've done this before. For example, if you put in, because this is the only one I've got that actually I do have a Blu-ray of. I put in The Next Doctor, which is the only Blu-ray upscale I have on both DVD and Blu-ray in terms of the new series, because it's part of the specials box set, and the rest of them are 1080p. And I literally did switch between them, and yeah, you can't tell a difference. You literally, on my TV, could not tell a difference. And I know that the TV inside out. Also, I don't know, just, this is my camera. This is the camera I've been filming most of my videos on since 2019. And I've accidentally just turned it on. So I better turn it off, not waste all the battery. Yeah, this is a 4K camera with my Rode little microphone on there. But yeah, any reviews I do, they're all filmed on this thing. But yeah, here's a tip if you ever want to review Doctor Who figures. Do not use autofocus, because it is crap when trying to review Doctor Who figures normally, because autofocus is generally made for focusing on basically real people generally. It's made to focus on actual people generally. So it's crap at doing that. So yeah, always try and use manual focus if you're reviewing figures. Other things, it doesn't mean the man, but figures, since they're so small, and that generally always use manual focus. Yeah. Snowflake says, 6x dig format. What? 6x digged format war philosophy in the case of anyone as well. What? I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Tom says he hates Chris Chibnall. So do I. Tom says can't even spell the surname. Neither can I, because I'm dyslexic. Simon Salva. Apparently, Studio Canal movie darks will include art cards and posters and try. Yeah, again, I did do a video on this, and it was announcing Doctor Who magazine books. Basically, depending on the differences between them, I may buy both versions. But if the scale book basically has, yeah, I might buy both versions. Both proper collector's versions, or if not, just the steelbook. But I will definitely be buying them. So yeah, which is going to be bloody expensive. In fact, let me show you something. This is the single most expensive 4K Blu-ray I've ever bought. It was £45 to get imported from the UK, from the US, I should say. And this is the most expensive 4K Blu-ray I've ever bought, as in terms of a single release. This is just one film, so yeah. And it doesn't even have a bloody slipcase. I don't know what my point was. I think my point was just like expensive shit. The Snowflake says, have you ever seen an iMac G3 from 1998? Yes. I can't remember whether I've seen one in person or not, but I have seen them. I am subscribed to the 8-bit guy, but yes, I have. They got to tell them the only people Ryan would stop and speak to in the street are me and Rob Ritchie or Sarah Millican. No, it's actually a much longer list than that. Also, Rob Ritchie I won't stop and speak to. I'd kidnap. Am I joking? Am I not? The quality of this life stream. This is apparently a lice stream. I don't have lice. I never have. But okay. Is really shit, yet oaks of higher resolution than Captain Dream Fighter. Yeah. This is just off the front-facing camera of my tablet. Or, as some people might call it, my PPD. Yeah. If you can work out what those initials are for, then yeah. My tablet is also my PPD. What does that stand for? If you work it out, well done. And put it in the comments if you work out what PPD stands for. Who's capturing Dream Fight? God, my internet keeps lagging. Okay. Don't get talk. Internet. It's shit. I've never had it, but I know people who have had, and and I've experienced theirs, and it is shit. Yeah, my granny, in fact, all my family have BT, which, may not be the best, but generally it's reliable. Proper got to related question here. I bought the 2016 Power of the Daleks DVD. Didn't like it much. Prefer the animation style in the invasion. Is the 2021 release any better? No, in fact, it's worse. It's worse. For one, it's the same animation team. But in terms of that, I prefer the invasion style as well. But that was done by Crosgo Hall, which unfortunately went out of business in 2011 or something like that. So yeah, and also the reason they didn't continue doing that is because that is to date the most expensive animation. Yes, even more expensive than the animations they do today on Fully Lost Stories. But basically, I've talked about this before, but for some reason, I don't know why, but the 2020 version of Power of the Daleks, the special edition, feels more rushed than the original. And no joke, there's a scene that they cut out of Patrick Troughton playing the recorder and tapping his foot to it that they didn't do in the special edition version, because there's literally a special feature where it says, oh yeah, we were it was too complex and we were unable to do this scene. So here it is back in 2016 where we were able to do it. And that's all because of a certain someone. And I've mentioned her name before. But if you don't know who that is, go watch my Evil of the Daleks animation review, and you'll hear me ranting and raving about her. Suffix says, Google definition of philosophy or not, I don't care. Meanwhile, I'm going to make a cup of tea while Gumben explains the clip. Okay. Oh, I'm tired. I had to be up early this morning. I had to be up bloody early for work. Hey Six Sec, when you read Doctor Who magazine, You forgot to mention that there were numerous documentary about the legacy. Yeah, I just generally skimmed over it. I did read it properly after. I did read it properly before, but when I did the video, I just skimmed through the information to get the video out quickly. Also, I didn't own the magazine either. I generally don't buy Doctor Who magazine. Never have, because it doesn't really interest me. The only times I have bought it is when there's like a free gift with it that I'm interested in. So yeah. The Doctor 11 got it. He knows what PPD stands for. But yes, you are correct. You are actually correct. I have basic grace. Used to have talk, couldn't do anything over. God, how do you know? How do you know this stuff? Was going to buy the new version of Evil the Galaxy any good? DVD version, can't afford the... Yes, you can afford the Blu-ray. I hear these people say, oh, I can't afford the Blu-ray. It's a whole £2-3 more. Just save up and buy the Blu-ray. The DVD looks shit. It looks shit. Because I've seen the DVD. In fact, in my video where I reviewed it, I compared the DVD to the Blu-ray, and my God, there is so much artifacting in the Blu-ray, not the Blu-ray, the DVD compared to the Blu-ray. Blu-ray looks great, but the DVD is there's so much artifacting and blockiness to it. It's like, my God. So yeah, but save up and spend a couple quid more and buy the Blu-ray. It literally says a few quid more. I'd understand if it was like double the price on, but it is literally a few quid more. Like, come on. Even if you don't have access to much money, you can save up a few quid more and get it and be happier in the long run. Just heard that you comment about a particular woman, so guessing it's not worth buying. It's still worth buying. It is still worth buying. For one, you know, even though it's short, it does have a good behind the scenes documentary on it about the original version, not the new one. But I don't regret my purchase. Plus, the Steelbook is actually on offer at the minute, a few places, so which I do really like that artwork. It does look really nice compared to the shit regular release, which literally looks like someone made it in fucking MS Paint. 6 Sec size and want to go sleep. 6 Sec is tired, although then again he's always tired at the minute, because yeah, one of the reasons this live stream can't go on for too long, it's already going a bit longer than I thought, is because at some point my granny is going to shout for me because she needs his help her do various things. Gordon Bennett apparently loves me, so good for him. Poor tastes, but good for him. When you said PVD, PV props spring to mind. Oh yeah. I would love to interview some other Doctor Who YouTubers. I would love to interview them, because I would not be a typical interviewer. Because I would not ask the typical, you know, safe, non-controversial question. No. I'd ask whatever the fuck I wanted. I'd go right in there. There's just so many. Someone. My mind's starting to go at this point. You don't even have a Blu-ray player. How? How do you not have a Blu-ray player? I don't... Also, just so you know, because there are a lot of people who still don't know this, and I'm still surprised every day. Okay, if you have a PS3, a PS4, or if you want the lucky ones who has a PS5, you have a Blu-ray player. It's built into it. Or if you have an Xbox One onwards, because they all have fucking stupid names, that also has a built-in Blu-ray player, because there's a lot of people who don't realise that. Like, there's a lot of people who literally say, oh, I don't have a Blu-ray player, and I ask them if they have one of those games consoles I mentioned, and they go, yeah. And so it's like, that has a built-in Blu-ray player, you can play Blu-rays on it. But even if you don't, you can buy a used Blu-ray player for less than 30 quid now. Like, you could buy a cheap used Blu-ray player for 20 or 30 pound if you shop around a bit. For example, Go and Cash Converters, they normally have cheap Blu-ray players for sometimes a little bit more, but again, not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. So, yeah. But in terms of me, I've only got one dedicated Blu-ray player, and that's my 4K one. And that was expensive, very expensive, for Blu-ray player at least. For a 4K one, it was pretty cheap. But yeah, just get a used PS3, although they are starting to go up in price. Do you think Chris Chibnall fancies Jodie Whittaker in a sexual way? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. But, you know, I could be wrong. I think he more likes Jodie Whittaker. It's a virtual signal for him. So, yeah. I think he sees more Jodie Whittaker as like, look, I chose a female to be the lead. That's basically what he thinks of Jodie Whittaker, essentially. At least from what I've seen. I haven't seen that much of him interviews and that, but that from the small amount I've seen, that's what I generally gather. What does PBD stand for? Some adult rating? What's the big mystery? Okay, so earlier on I said that this live stream is being done from my tablet, and there's the front-facing camera of it just there. But sometimes I call my tablet something else. I call it my PPED. And basically that stands for Portable Porn Device. Oh. That's what it stands for. And the Dr. 11, who I know in real life, guessed it. Yeah. He guessed it. And the Dr. 11 will have, hopefully by now, will have received a package from me. And oh boy, here come the euphemisms, but no, he actually received a DeLorean I sent him that he's paid for. In fact, I've got one over there. I might show it if you ask me in a minute, but it's a really nice die-cast one that lights up. The Snowflake says, how much of a quality upgrade is there in classic episodes between DVDs to the collection Blu-rays for 55-inch TV? Okay, one, there's your biggest issue. 55-inch TV, that's not a quality. That isn't a quality, that's just a size. That's just a size of a TV. So, the size of your TV does not negate the quality. So, for example, my TV is 55 inches. That cost an awful lot of money because it's an LG OLED. But I could get one for a tenth of the price for a no-name brand or Polaroid or whatever for a tenth of the price. Doesn't mean it's better though. So, but anyway, does it make a difference? Yes and no, it depends. For example, if the story hasn't had a new transfer in the 2010s, I'm going to say, then, you know, yes, it will look better because, for example, Season 8 looks so much better than its original DVD releases. It looks, particularly with stuff like Terror of the Autons, looks great and that. I think that one stands out the most. Colony in Space, although they did have to ever so slightly crop it, although I didn't really notice a difference. Also, Season 19, which has, I think, the most true HD content on there, looks fantastic. And also has an almost completely HD story on there, which is Black Orchid. The only bits that are on videotape are the brief TARDIS console room scenes. They're the only bits that I've done on videotape, and the rest is done on film, on location. That looks great, so yeah. But in terms of a difference, do I notice a difference? Yes, generally I do. But some stories you don't. Some stories you don't. For example, if it's a one that had a fairly new transfer, like for example, if it had a special edition DVD release, it's not going to look that different. I'm trying to think of an example of one that looks pretty much the same. I'm trying to think of one. The Green Death. The Green Death doesn't look that much different because I have the special edition DVD of that, and that doesn't look particularly different compared to its original release. So yeah, but generally they always do look, at least most part, they either look slightly better or substantially. So yeah, but for me it is worth it. It is worth it. But plus also ton new special features generally. So yeah. Don't have any PS whatever. Stop the sarcasm. I know they can play on blue. Yeah, I'm not trying to pick on you for that. I'm not trying to pick on you, but I genuinely have a lot of people who have asked me this, who have said this to me, and they don't know. So yeah, there are generally a lot of people out there who literally don't know their games console has a built-in Blu-ray player, which is amazing. And so yeah, there we go on that. In fact, so sometimes so yeah, but at the same time though, get a fucking Blu-ray player. They're not expensive. They're not expensive. Like, save up for one and get a Blu-ray player. Just get one. Just get a used one. Just get a used one. Because generally, if it's a proper, good brand, they are generally pretty reliable. So yeah, there we go. They are pretty reliable. Plus, also they make your DVDs look better because they upscale them. The Snowflake. Random question, but have you ever watched The Wiggles? I did watch the odd episode when I was between 3 and 5. And when I say the odd episode, I do mean the odd episode because I didn't like it. I hated it. I found the songs fucking annoying. Which is weird because a lot of kids, for example, listen to kids. A lot of kids, when they're kids, listen to them songs that are made for kids. A lot of the time, I didn't. I listened to a lot of my dad's music. For example, the music I listen to now is Tongues. For example, I can literally go from in the same session. I can go from starting off listening to Linkin Park, and we're going to finish up with Lady Gaga. That sometimes is how it goes, but yeah, no, wasn't really a fan of the Wiggles, so sorry. I've gone past it. There we go. Tom says, I have a VHS player, a DVD player, and a Wii. Yeah, you know what we used to call a VHS player? Because no one called them VHS players back when I was growing up, because they were still readily available back then. We'd either call them a VCR, which people still do, or more commonly, a video machine. It was you'd either call it a VCR or a video machine. And I still have mine. I still have. So yeah, I've got a separate one, a Sony one, which is a higher end model, and I tell you what, I also have the one that's built into that Bush TV that I showed you, which that one is actually a pretty high end one, even though the TV wasn't that expensive. A lot of the end of line VCRs are actually pretty good because they're 6-head hi-fi ones, and they're really so yeah. A lot if you want a VCR for whatever reason, and you want one at the best price, go for one that was released in the 2000s. Because those end of line ones are generally the most reliable ones, to be at least working now, and generally have the best performance for that. But I've got no interest in that, so yeah. I'll buy a used one. Good for you, good. The Snowflake says, what is the name of the disk drive you use for 4K Blu-ray ripping? Ugh, fuck. It is... I'm gonna... Hang on. I'm gonna have to grab my phone for this. In fact, you know what? Hold that thought. I'll turn on my laptop, but it's an LG BU40 or something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head the model number for it. But if you go into my How to Rip Doctor Who DVDs and Blu-rays video, if you look when I'm showing you on Make MKV, it tells you the model number of the Blu-ray drive that I'm using. But yeah, you can still buy that one, although the price has gone up a bit since. Although the price does vary on them quite a lot, but expect to pay somewhere between £70 to £90 for it. Again, the price does vary on that, but if you do want one of them, and it is a really good drive, But yeah. And in fact, in an upcoming video, I'm probably going to show you how to rip CDs. For example, if you get some Big Finish CDs for cheap, which you don't, and you want to rip them to get a digital copy, so yeah. That's also something I do sometimes, is just buy CDs. Because it's generally cheaper than buying, well, it's always cheaper than buying a digital MP3 of an album, so yeah. Anyway. Do you think Gordon Bennett will be cast as the 14th Doctor's companion? And Sixek as his companion? No. Jimmy King, is there any movie you want to see be released on Blu-ray? Yes. There are tons of films, tons of them, that I want to see get released on Blu-ray. The number one, though, and some people know exactly what film I'm going to say, but the number one film I want to see get a Blu-ray release is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That is the number one thing I want to see released on Blu-ray, in terms of films. But there's a ton of other films that from the past that I want to see get a release on Blu-ray. And there's ones that I want to see get on 4K Blu-ray as well. But yeah, that is the number one film I want to see get released on Blu-ray. And then probably after that is Witch's Ghost. So, yeah, that's what I want to see the most. A drawing show, PS2 had a Blu-ray player, was way ahead of the game. Yeah, the PS2 did not have a Blu-ray player. The PS2 had a DVD player, not a Blu-ray player. The PS3 had a Blu-ray player, and it was one of the first Blu-ray players. Because Blu-ray players didn't come out until 2006. And they didn't come out in the UK until 2007. Which may be older than the people watching this. Yeah, I won't be surprised if there's people watching this who were born after then. Which is weird to think. It's weird to think, yeah. It's also weird in my life I've gone through so many formats in such a short amount of time. Because when you think about it, you know, throughout the late 70s, all the way up until the 2000s, you had VHS all that time. You also had Betamax. Laserdisc didn't really exist in the UK very much, but from me, who was born in 98 and grew up during the 2000s, I went through VHS initially, then DVD, then Blu-ray, which I'm still buying new Blu-rays, and also now 4K Blu-ray. So yeah, it's weird that I have gone through 4 formats in my life. It's weird, and obviously we've had streaming that on there. Green Eggs and Ham Season 2 came out today. Wasn't as good as Season 1, but still enjoyed it. Did you ever buy Lego? Yes, but I didn't buy Lego sets. I bought individual Lego, which you can't really get now unless you go to the special Lego shops. Nowadays, you just can't buy like Lego to just build whatever you want. It's near impossible to. So, yeah, I would get these like Lego big boxes of just like loads of Lego bricks to build whatever the fuck you wanted, which to me is much more fun. I remember, for example, the character building stuff, which is basically rip off Lego. Like that stuff, Lego and that now, it's basically like building fucking IKEA furniture. Like no joke. I built that wardrobe, and the instructions for it, and the instructions for Lego sets now is basically the same kind of thing of putting stuff together. It's basically IKEA stuff miniaturized, kind of. But I was never hugely into Lego. I was never hugely into it, but I did like it as a kid. The Snuffy. I regret not getting an OLED TV, I'm assuming. I got an LED Sony Bravia TV. It's a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I bought an OLED, and that'll be my TV for at least the next, well, I say 5 years, but because it's got a 5-year warranty. But yeah, it'd probably be longer. But it looks incredible. And once you go OLED, you don't go back. This tablet is OLED. My phone is OLED. Yeah, everything is OLED. Apart from the things that aren't, like my laptop and my TV at my granny's. But everything else is OLED. Apart from the things that aren't. But yeah, OLED, for those who don't know, stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode. What that means is that rather than your TV having a backlight, all of the individual pixels light themselves up. And what that means is basically you get, when the TV shows black, it shows black, and you get much more true to life and vivid colours. You don't get, like, for example, if you turn a regular LCD TV on, even if it's showing, black, it's not going to be proper black. It's going to be like a grey type of black or a bluey black kind of colour. Whereas an OLED, if it was just showing black, it would still show black when it turned on. It wouldn't look any different. Which is good, because they do look absolutely fantastic, and they're great for watching films on. In fact, one of the best looking, I'd say the best looking 4K Blu-ray I've probably got is The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, particularly The Dark Knight, because they have IMAX scenes in them, and they look fantastic on there. They do look out of this world. So yeah. Anyway, 6.5 or 6.5. So it says A6 sec Should you watch? Should watch Dracula AD 1972. I've seen Dracula AD 1972. Not a big fan. I can't remember much from it, only the basic plot, but it's not that good. Although it is good if you want to get clips of Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and try and edit into a Doctor Who fan film type thing. Snowflake. I noticed how poor the DVD is as I sit close to the TV, hence why I'm switching to Blu-ray. Again, I mean, that's kind of obvious, but yeah. I mean, I switched to Blu-ray in 2012, which I thought I was getting late into the game because I thought, oh, it's been out all these years, I'm falling behind. Turns out I wasn't. And I got into 4K Blu-ray apparently earlier than some people did. And yeah, but get it if you haven't got into Blu-ray. Get into Blu-ray at least, because people think Blu-rays cost a lot. They don't. They don't now. Especially if you're buying used ones, they cost next to nothing. A lot of them. For example, if you go looking on, for example, for like older Blu-ray releases. For example, one of my favourite films, Hot Fuzz, you can buy the Blu-ray for like a few quid, like a couple of quid used. So, yeah, get on the Blu-ray train. You know, you're a bit late for it, but you know, get on there while it's still going. So it has an amazing soundtrack. Thus, me okay. You know, rather than constantly leaning forward, because that's hurting my back constantly leaning forward. Let's bring the tablet here, and we'll sit it down, and I'm just gonna hold it. So we're gonna be uncomfortably close to my face. So can't wait to see Earthshock on the season 19 Blu-ray. Well, episode 1 does have some location footage, which that will be in True HD. The rest of the story is not. So, yeah, the rest of it won't look that different. The Doctor 11 says VHS all the way. No. 4K Blu-ray all the way. If you want to see films in the best possible quality in your home right now, 4K Blu-ray is the thing. And we've got a ton of retracted messages, okay? You can rip a CD on a PS3. Yes, I know you can. But the way I'll show you to do it using a Windows PC is much better because it also brings all of the track data and that along with it. And also, it's just as standard MP3s and that as well. Or as WAV files, or wherever you want. I recently saw some character building Doctor Who, the Dalek Factory set. Yeah, I built the Dalek Factory, and it unfortunately it was a very flimsy thing, even when it was put together, and I ended up just basically disassembling it and putting it back in Xbox because literally bits of it would just pop off and go flying all over the fucking place. So in the end, I just disassembled it and put it back away. Hey Sick Sec, would you buy TV movie Steelbook? It would have to have nice art. If it had nice artwork, I might. But otherwise, no. It's the same. So yeah. Or if it had any new content. If I had new content, then yeah, obviously I would. But it would have to have really nice. I mean, really nice artwork for me to buy it again. If it was just the same content. I'll put the microphone that way. Face it more towards me. Chris Criminal keeps reacting to my general bashing comments. Does he know? Well, he mustn't have anything better to do. Was it there? We'll have it here. And we'll move it a bit closer. I wish I never got the Ninth Doctor records. Why not? I thought I was getting exclusive features, artwork and looks, nice art, but they're... What do you mean you thought you were getting something exclusive? I knew when I was getting them I wasn't getting anything exclusive. I was just getting the stories on vinyl. That was the exclusive thing about them. Like, you shouldn't buy vinyl records for just for that reason, because you're thinking you're gonna get exclusive artwork or exclusive stuff on it. No, that is not the reason you should go into buying vinyl records. It can be part of it, but it shouldn't be the main reason. It shouldn't be the main reason. But yeah. But I personally do love them. The only thing I don't like, since they're tri-gatefolds, it's a bit awkward trying to get the middle one out, because you've got to kind of slightly bend the other one backwards for it to slide out, which is a bit annoying and worrying. No, I do not remove them. I do not remove any of the comments. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, YouTube has this stupid scheme where its bot just automatically deletes comments. Even my own. I've tried to... Sometimes I have to reply to people several times because it blocks my own replies from me on my channel. Just fucking stupid. But yeah, I never delete any comments. The only ones that I do are when I get a spam one that says, "Oh, you should... Hi there, you should... Why aren't you using this service? Or why aren't... Go to this website." If it's something like that, that's clearly a bot, that is a scam kind of thing, that's when I do. But other than that, just like, yeah, see whatever, I don't care. I really don't. I thought I was getting the soundtrack or behind the scenes. Turns out they're on the CD. You still get the behind the scenes. Like, did you not read? I honestly didn't know. You clearly didn't understand what you were getting, because it wasn't a... Nowhere did it say soundtrack. It was literally the story, and you still get those. You still get those. You just get them as a digital copy, and you can still buy the CD. So, for me, I don't regret getting them at all. I do love them. Because again, I don't know what you thought you were getting, but it was obvious that it was the stories on vinyl. And it's not like the first time Big Finish have released stories on vinyl. They've done that before. Plus, CDs are better as you can rip them. Well, yeah, but you also get a digital copy with the vinyl. And if you bought the CD from Big Finish, you get a digital copy of that as well. So, again, if you bought the vinyl and you bought it from Big Finish, you get a digital copy as well. So you get the best of both worlds. So, yeah, I don't know why you're angry about that. You were clearly expecting something else, and yeah, I don't want to say. I know you get them with the vinyls, but it was my first time getting something on vinyl. Yeah, you shouldn't start expensive vinyl records like that. You really shouldn't. And also, and this is something I'll say, for anyone out there who is thinking and getting into vinyl records, do not, under any circumstances, get those briefcase turntables, because they are shit. They make your records sound terrible, and they can also damage your records because they apply far too much bloody downwards force onto them. So do not buy them. In terms of, like, if you want to start out getting, a turntable, get the Audio Technica. I've forgotten the model number, but if you literally just search up Audio Technica turntable, there you go. Or buy vintage. That's what I do. Although sometimes you do have to fix them up, which I have done. But you can get ones that are pretty decent for cheap. So, yeah. Anyway. Do you like a female Doctor Who? Would you like to see a black Doctor? Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think you should change the Doctor. I don't think they should have just changed the Doctor's sex for the reason they did, because they just did it for all the wrong reasons, you know. They did. And I don't think you should just change it just for the sake of it. Just like, oh, well, there hasn't been one before. I mean, that's not a very good argument. If you're just saying, oh, well, there hasn't been one before, that's not a very good argument. In terms of in the future, you know, Black Doctor, female, I really don't care. How about this? How about, can we have a good actor? Can we have a good actor? Someone who is actually good and suited to the part? Can we have that? Can we have that? Or is it all about the fucking virtual signalling? Who my kin, of course it fucking is. Because it's the BBC. Doctor Who is a white male. Um, okay, Tom. Snowflake says, that's another thing. Vinyls, you have... Yeah, I generally... I generally call them vinyl records, but whatever. Yeah, vinyl records, you have to get record players and they're massive, yeah. Yeah, the whole point of vinyl records is that they're big. They're big, you know, they are the most inconvenient way you can listen to music. Yeah, it's also my favourite way to listen to music or audio in general. Like, if you want an easy, cheap, convenient way to listen to music, get Spotify or whatever. But, you know, vinyl record, the thing that I like with vinyl records is, for me, it gives me a more personal connection to what I'm listening to, because with vinyl records, you can't really listen to them casually. When I listen to my records, like, I literally sit down in front of my hi-fi and listen to them and watch the turntable spinning. Like, it's, and it gets you more immersed into it. It's hard to really explain it, you know, but for those who do have it, for those who have experienced it, then yeah. But I do take it much more. I am a proper collector in terms of that, because there are two types of record collectors, and I'm in a weird category. There are those people who buy the cheap, nasty briefcase turntables, and it's just a fun little novelty for 5 minutes for them, and that's kind of it. Then there are the other people on the other spectrum, who, buy a better proper turntable and they listen to them. Although then you get the audiophiles who got some of the audiophiles. You swear they hate fun. They hate anything fun. With them, it's just like, no, you should just sit in a room in a corner, stare at the wall, and just, that's it. Yeah, you know. Like, for me, it's like it's a hobby as well. It's a hobby as well. So yeah, if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. But, and I will say, it is something expensive to get into. It's something very expensive to get into. So yeah, I don't blame anyone for not getting into it. It is the most inconvenient way, and it's the most expensive way as well. I'm also into cassettes as well, so yeah. Hey ho, there we go. But they still both sound great. That's the difference. That's the difference. They both still sound great, as long as you've got good equipment to play with them through. So yeah. Anyway, record dust covers are also a pain. Record dust covers aren't really a pain. You lift it up, and it's on spring hinges, so it's generally it stays up. So, and it keeps the dust off the turntable. So yeah. The only annoying thing is that you do have to dust the top of them, the lids. But that's with any electronics. You should always dust them. Yeah. Have you ever seen Superman the movie? Oh, I haven't one. I'm assuming you're talking about the 70s version, but when I was little, I did, but I haven't seen it since then. Tom Bennett is the new Doctor, okay. I'm gonna bring these closer so I can read them a bit easier. I want to see Michael Caine play the Doctor, or Clint Eastwood, but he's too old. Hmm. Yeah. Speaking of Michael Caine, he was actually in Green Eggs and Ham season 2. So yeah, I guess a thing there. I played the Ninth Doctor Ravager's vinyl once on a briefcase. Yeah, you see, briefcase player, which I don't bother with now. Hopefully, I didn't damage the records. You shouldn't. Hopefully, if you only played it once, it should be fine. But with multiple plays, it can wear it down a lot quicker than it should do. Those briefcase ones are terrible. They sound terrible. Because I had one very briefly, and they do sound awful. They do sound awful. But yeah, if you want the proper experience, you know, avoid those because you're just wasting your money with them. That they are shit. I think we disconnected there for a second. But yeah, those briefcase cleaning tables are shit. Anyway. The pedophiles hate. No, the audiophiles. The audiophiles hate fun. Audiophiles. Audiophiles are basically people who take audio very seriously and apparently have golden ears who can hear basically everything. So yeah, audiophiles. So yeah, audiophiles, not pedophiles, completely different. Although I did. Speaking of pedophiles, I watched the Netflix Jimmy Savile documentary recently. Um, yeah, when it came out this week. The Snowflake says coloured vinyl records are worth getting. Haha. Well, I do love coloured vinyl. I love picture discs as well. Picture discs are vinyl records, but have a picture in the centre rather than just being black or whatever colour. But yeah, I do love coloured records. I'm not a big fan of clear vinyl, and the only reason I'm not is because it's a bit harder to determine the tracks on it, because it's harder to see the gaps in between each track if you want to play a particular track. I prefer 8-track to cassette. 8-track are shit. Like 8-track are fucking peeing in the arse. Um, like for one, they're a lot more inconvenient, but they don't sound as good. They don't sound that good as good. They don't sound bad, but they also like cassettes can still look nice on a shelf. So can vinyl records, but 8-tracks, like all of them, I've started peeling away and they look really sort of tacky on a shelf generally. Got a lot of them, the labels and that are just peeling away and they're just turning to shit. All my vinyl records are coloured. I've never seen white vinyl. I have white vinyl. I have several. For example, let's see, what's his name? I'm trying to think of the name of the album. Labyrinth's album that has Earthquake on it. That vinyl I've got of it is white. So that's a white vinyl I've got. God, I haven't seen this channel in ages. How are you, guy? Yeah, hello. I was forced. I was forced to take the knee for them back in 2020. How? How were you forced? Who is hurting you? The Snowflake says, I mean, dust covers and sleeves for each record is a pain. You don't have to do that. I do that because it protects the records and it keeps dust and mainly also static from them as well. Because records can build up static and that can cause interference. But again, vinyl records are not a convenient format. They are the most inconvenient way and most expensive way for you to listen to any music. So yeah, if you want convenience, avoid them. Just go Spotify. And you know, I don't actually listen to Spotify very often. I generally have all my music generally as MP3s on my phone itself because it sounds better, and I like to own my music. But yeah. Tom, we're good, Harvey. How are you? Hey, you should watch the Sigma. He creates beautiful TARDIS designs. Okay, out of the blue. Who is your favourite Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire. Speaking of Spider-Man, I have both the Zavi and Amazon exclusive Spider-Man No Way Home steelbooks, which I did unboxings of on my other channel. Yeah, but yeah, I do like Tom Holland as well, and Andrew Garfield has actually gone up in my books recently as well because of No Way Home. Hey man, merchandise guide. It has been announced that the steelbooks. Okay, I'm gonna turn my phone on. I'm gonna turn my phone on so I can have a look at them, and I'll show it at the camera as well, so we'll have a look at them live, people. So put a pin in that. When is the Steve Coogan, Steve Slavic companion documentary out? Don't ask me anything. I don't know what you're on about. Put my password in. Yeah, it's weird. Easter's come. Yeah, it must be next week. Easter's coming up very soon. It's weird. It's weird. Easter is coming up very soon. Can you comment the 4K disc drive that I will try. I am going to the Got To merchandise page. What is this about? Oh, so I thought you were talking about that. Yeah, I don't care about the. I thought you were talking. I didn't read the comment properly. It's just about. I thought you were talking about the Dalek films being available for 4K. So it's talking about these protectors. Yeah, I don't care about them. I really don't. Because for me, they're fine sitting on the shelf, and they're never used anyway after they're ripped. So yeah. Tell you what. LGB. Copy. Right, I'm gonna put that in the chat. All right, so there we go. There is the model of the 4K drive that I use, and I have 3 of them. So yeah. Anyway, I'll answer the rest of these questions. We've lost a few viewers. What happened there? Can you hold the door? It's like you're in my living room. Okay, do you think my rug clashes with my carpet? I hope that's not a euphemism. I see your bank card. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have shown that. I probably shouldn't have shown that though. But yeah, yeah, I don't think you can see it. Like the numbers, so that's lucky. Just get poking at the top. Just get poking at the top, although I'll probably go back afterwards and blur it. Do you use Power Tools or Adobe Premiere Pro? For most videos most videos I've done over the past 8 years, like 7 to 8 years, I've used neither though. I've used Power Director 14. Although recently, a few of my videos I've been doing, I have been using Vegas. I've been using Vegas Pro for some of them. The only problem with Vegas Pro is that basically when I need to use it on my laptop that I've got now, I have to close everything else for it to actually render stuff, because it needs all my laptop's resources currently. So yeah, in fact, I'll read the comments on here. I'll read the comments here. Thanks for doing these. I like being able to live message a YouTuber. It's like we're having a conversation in real life. I mean, I'm not fake, I'm really here. Hello. Yeah, well, okay. How's the room move going? Again, I'll be doing more videos on that, showing the progress as it goes along. I've used that software for college. I do TV and radio, news media. Where do you have all the viewers gone? It suddenly dropped from 15 to 2. Has the internet dropped out? Not on my end, but I guess people got bored. I just talked about vinyl records for like a good 10 fucking minutes. I hate college like school, okay? Now for me, I did sixth form college, and while I wasn't a big fan of it, it was infinitely better than high school. High school was probably the worst time of my life. It was the worst. I like vinyl, so that's why I've skipped. Yeah. So yeah. It's fucking tiring. I'll tell you what. I will show you what I'm looking at right now in my granny's apartment. So at the moment I'm in my room at my granny's apartment, but this is what I'm currently looking at. So yeah, this is what I'm currently looking at. That's my old TV, which I got in 2013. You can see Daleks there. There's a turntable there, that is my old one, which I pull out to use. You can see hi-fi that there. There's the laptop that I've been editing all my videos on. And that white thing there, that's my 4K Blu-ray drive. There's a poster for the Batman. There's a die-cast Batmobile, DeLorean and Mystery Machine. That's a tumble dryer, because it has to go in here, because there's nowhere else for it to go. And there's some more questions. What is sixth form college? So yeah, sixth form college as its full name is basically essentially a free sort of version because of college, I guess, where you stay on at school until you're 18. So yeah, that's basically what that is. So yeah, I'm gonna switch the cameras back now. Even though I've got this tablet like 2 foot away from me, for some reason on this it zooms it in further. I don't know why. I've literally got it stretched out at the minute. It's looking like I'm so fucking close. Anyway. That's not a washing machine, as I said, that's a tumble dryer. That's a tumble dryer. But yeah, the only reason that's in there because it has to go in there because there's not that much room at my granny's apartment for things, so this is the only place it could go in. What is your dream figure release? I would say either of the Emperor Dalek figures. Although, saying that, I would love the movie Daleks. I would love the movie Daleks to get a proper release, but that's not going to happen because they can't get the rights. Oh, that's it. So yeah. Needs a bit of vacuuming, the carpet. Basically all that fluff on the carpet is off my socks. Every time I walk in here, just like fluff off my socks comes off on that carpet. And I've given up. I don't care anymore. I've given up on it. But yeah, all that is basically fluff off my socks because every time I literally see my sock, it bits of it just adhere to the carpet. What the fuck is a dryer? A tumble dryer? You've never heard of a tumble dryer before? It dries your clothes. A dryer in a bedroom. Again, the only reason it's in here is because there's nowhere else to put it. So yeah, again, this is my granny's apartment, so there's not much room to put it in. So yeah, and does it keep you up at night? I don't sleep here. Even though it's a bedroom and there is a bed there, I don't sleep here, and the reason is because my granny has carers in during the night and the early hours of the morning, which I can't be dealing with, so I don't sleep here. I just come, in the morning and then leave it late at night. Hello again, Mr. Valeska. Who is the hottest top 2 companion? I don't know. I don't know. Wilfred. Stephen Taylor. Okay, would you rather have sex with Nicola Bryant or never watch Terror of the Zygons again? Okay, how is having sex with Nicola Bryant a bad thing in that situation? Because you either have sex with Nicola Bryant or you can't watch Terror. It's just like that is a no-brainer. That's like asking, would you rather have a kick up the arse or would you rather have a sandwich? Sell the tumble dryer. It's not my tumble dryer, it's my granny's tumble dryer, so no. And it's actually a really good tumble dryer because it's Millie or Millet, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's proper good make. Mine is massive as well, even for a tumble dryer. But yeah, how's everyone just come back and listening on the radio? There are no radiators in this apartment because it's one of them ones that is heated through pipes under the floor, so there's no radiators in here. Going back to what you were saying, I'm watching this on my Voxable porn device, and I'm now polishing the base right now. The base? What do you mean the base? Do you mean the bottom of the screen? Nicola Bryant would still get it. Millet are expensive, Swedish brand. Yeah. I didn't pay for it, but my granny has had that for a long time. She's had it a long time. She's had it for probably nearly a decade now, and it's still just as good in it as it was when she first got it. So yeah, and that was moved from the from her house. So yeah. Would you rather be Chris Chibnall's wife or have the mystery box? Have the mystery box, no-brainer. It says brass. Right. Again, I'm tired at this point. As in a brass candle. Okay. The mystery box is Captain Would you rather run for 20 hours or swim for 10? I'd rather swim for 10. Yeah, I'd rather swim for 10. Because swimming can be more relaxing. Because, you know, swimming, you don't have to go full... Like, running, when you say run, you've got run, go full pace. Swimming, you know, you can have a leisurely swim. You can't have a leisurely run. Because that's called a jog. Have you ever seen the Air Zone? No. The Air Zone Solution. No, I've seen clips of it, but I've never watched it. I'll have an ice cream pie, please. Okay. How old is everyone here? I don't... Probably too young to be watching this, but... Here we go. Oh, look, that was 7. I'm 23. Going Bennett, I doubt you're my #1 fan. I know you are not my favourite person. No. Tom, I'm 40. I really hope you're not, otherwise this is going to be really weird. I'm 45 and want to seem like... what everyone else is like. You're Are you really 45? Then again, I look at the analytics of my audience, and it's just like when I look at the age group, a lot of the time I look at it and I go, you know, this is just people lying about their age. Surely, it's just like no, sometimes it isn't. Yeah. Gun Bennett is not my rival. I don't have a rival. I'm not big enough to have a rival. Scott can't... Yeah, okay, yeah. Guess Mr. Valeska's age. Right, I'm pretty sure you're younger than me. I'm gonna guess 19, maybe? 19? Are you 19, Mr. Valeska? I haven't a bloody clue. I was born when Tom Baker was first single. Oh god. I mean, 45, bloody hell. I'm acting like you're ancient. You're not. You're not even. Technically, I think you've got to be fit. I think middle age is now defined as being 50 onwards. So yeah, you're not even middle age yet. Not quite. So yeah, because both my parents are both in their 50s. But yeah, I'm gonna look in here. I'm gonna have to move this closer to have a look. I'm 5 years old and ready to have a good time. 6 sec. No. No. No 5-year-olds here. Absolutely not. I'm guessing you're joking. If you're not, please go. Please. This is not a place for you. The Great Gingerbread Man was your rival. No, he wasn't. Mr. Villa says, that's a good guess. I will say you're somewhat close. Yeah, I imagine he was somewhere in the ballpark, because from, I reckon you're probably close to my age, but maybe a bit younger, so that's why I'm guessing. Okay, the world ended my cup. Thank fuck for that. The constant calls and for funerals. Things have been making me nervous, yes. I am 1 year old. Okay. Very impressive 1-year-old. Jamaican, sorry mate. Being 45, I'm a bit weird. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Again, for those who... I know someone's going to say, no, I do not have COVID. I've taken several tests. In fact, I was getting better. And unfortunately, we had shit weather again, which made me a bit worse again. So, yeah. 6 sec is a fetus. Well then, I am the largest and most well-developed fetus in all of existence then, if I am still a fetus. So, hey ho, here she goes. A little too high and a little too low. Up down the screen, vertigo. Gung Bennett thinks he's made of candy. Jake says, can we have a threesome with the Actually, no, he just says threesome with the year-old. What year-old? The year-old. He's a sexy fetus, okay. Now I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh god, I'm bloody tired. I'm gooned. But yeah, there will be more video. There'll be an update on the progress of my room. I've been filming as we're going, and there'll be another video on the Cyberman head. Let's just say it's looking better than it was before in the last video. So, but yeah, and that video is going to be bloody dead long. So yeah, so let's see, Tom. So Tom, if you were 45, this film would have came out when you weren't that old. Because this came out, what, 78, 79? This was infamously banned in the UK for a long time. But yeah, I only recently got this, and yeah, my dad said, oh, I wanted to see this as a kid, but he wasn't allowed, but he couldn't get the video. So yeah, but I've got this. So yeah. Anyway, let's have a look. Six sec mum's vagina is pretty big. There's a eternity vagina. Well, I don't actually know, but I can tell you this. Myself, my brother, and my sister are all cesarean, so none of us have passed through there, so yeah. So that wouldn't have affected it if that's what you're referring to. Because we're all cesareans. You're pushing it. Your luck a bit, Jake. When's the last time you had a bath? Myself, last night, and I'll be having one tonight. I have one every night before I go to sleep because it just helps to relax me. So yeah, I have a one every night, and I use Lynx Africa body wash, and L'Oreal for Men shampoo, the 3-in-1 one that's for face, body and hair. So I could use it as my body wash if I wanted to, but yeah, because I clean the beard as well. You clean the beard. I do need to trim it though a bit around the sides, but yeah. Is your granny shouting on you? No, not yet. She's probably fallen asleep. A lot of times she just fall asleep in front of the TV. But she'll probably be calling us fairly soon. Because basically I made her coffee and did everything for her and that before the live stream, and I told her I was going to be live streaming. And, you know, so she's giving us a bit of a break for a bit. But yeah. Do an all-nighter stream? No. Because for one, tomorrow morning, I'm going to South Shields tomorrow morning, so no. No. Can you do an impression of the Elephant Man? No, probably not. Rank every Little Britain episode. I haven't seen every Little Britain episode. I've seen a few, handful, but I haven't seen every. I've seen mostly just like clips, generally on YouTube. Yeah, no, I couldn't do a ranking because I haven't seen every episode. I was 25 in 1976. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm just checking something here. Okay, fine. I checked. I thought for a second here something didn't add up, but it does. Okay. About like 10:15. No, usually it's at 11:30 at night. I usually have one at 11:30 at night, and then I generally go. I then, probably just lie in my bed for a bit and then just go to sleep. And that's normally at about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. I was clapping ass cheeks when you were all not even born. Yes. Sec. Can you wish Jake the World Emperor a happy birthday? He's your #1 fan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Forgot your name. Live streaming your bath, please. Bath time, please. No. Because that won't be here. Because I'll be at 11 o'clock. I leave my granny's apartment to go back, and no, that's not happening. Plus, I wouldn't get a very good signal outside. I'd have to. So yeah, no, not happening. Plus, that would be age restricted immediately or banned. So no. I believe in taking care of myself and a balanced diet and rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, my face is a little puffy, and I put on an ice pack while doing stomach crunches. Okay, Mr. Valeska. I mean, for me, if I can still fit in the same belt loop that I always do, I'm pretty much happy. So, yeah. Sec, can you grow a mustache that looks like a rainbow? No. This is the only mustache I grew. This one. So, yeah. Also, this light is making my hair look more yellow than it actually is. And just before I go, I would like to say Nicola Bryant is so hot. Okay. I can do 1,000 now. Of course you can. After I remove the ice pack, I do a pretty... Yeah, you're talking about exercise. You're making me fucking feel tired. I'll start having sex on Discord. Okay. Can you do an impression of Jimmy Savile? No, that's not happening. God, what? If you're talking about your fucking routine, it's getting boring now. I don't need to hear your morning routine. I don't. Where do you work? Well, I work from home. I work for a company called Global Initiative Solutions. Was it Global Initiative and Solutions? Because there's a couple of there's a few companies that have similar names to ours, or sometimes even the same names, but they're based in America. And so yeah, because everyone within the company just calls it GIS, so that's who I work for. But in terms of like a location, I work from home. I work from home, which means I'm able, to look after my grinding, other things. So yeah, that makes fun that way. Do you walk home at night? Yes, I do. I mean, it's fine. Because I walk to my granny's old house and sleep there currently, which is only 10-15 minute walk from here, so yeah. Hey Six Sec, what is your favourite hentai category? Hang on. I am going to write something down and hopefully it should explain everything. I even pulled out the S Pen. Look at the size of my S Pen, people. I got my S Pen out. But in regards to your question, I hope that answers it. And I know my handwriting is terrible. But yeah. What do you do for a job? Again, I mentioned this earlier, but I'm the head of the production team and the YouTube channel of the company. For example, I've been busy producing the second company advert for them, and I've also been recording some interviews and that are going up on the company channel, but that's all I'm going to say for that. Sleep home alone? Yeah, I mean, while my granny was in a care home for pretty much most of last year and the year before, yeah, I prefer being on my own. I prefer being on my own because it's peace and quiet. Although I do miss my dog when that happens. But yeah. S Pen, yeah, that is actually that's not me saying a euphemism. That is actually what this is called. This is called an S Pen. So yeah. So if you thought I was trying to be dirty in that, no, it is literally called an S Pen. Why don't you get a job? If you're so hungry, why don't you get a job? I've got a job. I have got a job. I have had a job. Now, the job that I'm currently working for, I've had it now for 9 months next week. So yeah, I'll have been employed by this company for 9 months as of next week. Can't see what it said. S Pen. No, it is called the S Pen. This is okay. So Samsung phones that have these types of pens, these are called S Pens. These are legitimately called S Pens. Like for example, like their S-line phones and that. For example, this that I'm doing the live stream on is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. So yeah, it is called an S Pen. But yeah. What does the company do? Good fucking question. Half the time I don't fucking know. Half the time I don't know. They're a think tank company, not that type, but yeah. Do you have a girlfriend? Unfortunately, no. That's so funny. Why on earth did they thought it would be a good idea to have John Pertwee dress as a woman on the Green Death on the season 10 box set? Well, they didn't decide that. That was decided in the 70s. And Doris is one of the best things about the Green Death, so don't you dare diss that. Can you screen yourself doing a tier list? I'm not doing fucking tier lists. Jack up the mic. You can't on this. It won't let you. And the reason I'm sounding quiet is because I'm talking quiet because I'm getting a bit of a sore throat by this point, as I said. But we'll do this. I will hold the mic. There we go. I will hold the mic closer when I speak. Okay. I am not gay, Tom. Not Tom, Gordon. Replying some, I am not. There is a story to tell, actually. There was one guy who legitimately, out of the blue, messaged me on Twitter and said, well, you know what, I won't tell that story. I won't tell it for their sake. I won't tell that story again. I think I told it once, but I won't say it again. Have you ever had a girlfriend, Tom asks. No. Though then again, I've never went looking, if that makes sense. And he said, just because I just haven't. I just really haven't. To be honest, I mean, mostly I do prefer my own company. So yeah. John Pertwee as Doris is really sexy. Okay. Go get a steelbook with Doris then. Can you please tell the story? Will you ever have a girlfriend? Well, that's not up to me to decide. That last one. Hopefully one day. Though I'll have to actually get off my arse and go out there. But if I can find... Here it is. Okay, so a guy on Twitter, I'm not going to tell you his name, but I'm just getting the conversation up ready. A guy on Twitter basically said, direct DM'd me on Twitter and said, hey, I left a message on your YouTube videos. I just wanted to say that you are really cute and I would love to chat with you if you are up for that. I then replied to them going, okay, question mark. They then replied to me saying, sorry if that's a bit forward, just didn't know whether you are into guys or not. I then replied to them saying, I'm not, but we can still talk. He then replied to me saying, okay, sorry, I think I misjudged. Sorry, good luck with the channel and everything. Thumbs up. And then never messaged me, never spoke to me again after that. So yeah, I said to him, you know, I'm not gay, but we can still have a chat. And that is my granny calling. Yeah. I'll do that in a minute, okay? Bye. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap things up. But yeah, it's like nah, he wanted, and yeah, he didn't even speak to me. So yeah, I have never had a girlfriend either. I have been if you're okay, I mean you're 45. You said 40 fucking 5. Bloody hell. I thought, is there hope for me out there? Just like, no. It's like, well, I be you one day, so I'm at 45. Just like, yeah, never I wouldn't either. Fucking hell. Girlfriends cost money. Masturbation is free. You got a point. You got a point. Though, if I'm truly honest, I wouldn't want a girlfriend just for that. Like, you could pay a prostitute or have a one-night stand for that, but nah. Anyway. 6 was the stop motion scene and why? Was the best stop motion scene and why? The train chase from Wallace and Gromit. The wrong trousers. Phew, at least you're not one of it. There, my unsubscribes. Some calls from downstairs. No, she's actually next door. She actually calls from her Alexa, her Amazon Echo, which then rings my phone. You're 79. I'm not 45. I didn't think you were 45. I obviously didn't think you, because it's really, because you don't talk like a 45-year-old. And I don't think you're 79. Also, no one can say, Christ clap. You were talking about your own stop motion, I don't know. I dare you to make a TikTok account, no. Alright, anyway. That is it for my 11th anniversary live stream. As you can see, my throat is just completely knackered, so yeah. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll give a live stream. I'll do another one probably in the future, maybe when the box sets come out. So yeah. By the way, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.